Why is everyone suddenly listening to Charli XCX? I must admit, I've been thinking about this a lot, being in the camp that has largely ignored Charli's music to this point, but what a mistake that was. With the release of BRAT and its glowing reviews, I decided to give the album a listen. This led me to some intriguing insights into why Charli has received so much acclaim and is recognised as the innovator of the hyperpop genre. In this video, I'll share my thoughts on why everyone is listening to Charli XCX and why she might be the most important figure in pop music over the last decade. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ollie and it's my goal to make music sound better to you. If that's something you're interested in, consider hitting the subscribe button. So I've largely ignored Charli's music, but why? Charli XCX's only significant chart success in the UK were her hook on Iggy Azalea's Fancy and her 2015 song Boom Clap. However, as all hardcore fans will attest, these hits were different from the innovative music she would go on to create. For years, despite the critical buzz, I assumed Charli XCX's music was just mainstream pop made for the masses. It wasn't until the success of her album Charli that I really started to pay attention. I remember giving it a casual listen, perhaps in the background, and noticing some quality, but I wasn't into experimental music at the time. Still, I knew I would revisit it someday. Fast forward to 2024 and it feels like we're in the midst of BRAT-mania. BRAT reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 200, selling numbers comparable to mainstream pop artist Dua Lipa. With the release of BRAT and some overwhelming love for the album, I realised I could no longer ignore Charli XCX. And now I finally understand why everyone is listening to Charli XCX. So let's talk about it. What stood out to me the most is that Charli's music is incredibly feel-good and fun, and that joy really shines through. It's not necessarily deep or lyrical, but that's not a criticism. It's just infectiously catchy and a pleasure to listen to. She has this ability to churn out absolute bops. Songs that get stuck in your head or just make you want to move. Much of this comes from the heavy lean into rave culture, but she always infuses her personality into the tracks. Music always goes in cycles, and the return of rave culture in the 2020s is reminiscent of the acid house movement in the 1980s. Both eras emerged as vibrant, youth-driven subcultures that thrived on the ethos of freedom, community, and unbridled expression. In the 1980s, acid house was more than just a genre of music. It was a cultural revolution. The scene was characterised by its underground nature, with secret locations, all-night dancing, and a sense of rebellion against the mainstream. The use of new electronic music technologies such as synthesizers and drum machines played a crucial role in defining the sound of acid house, creating a unique sonic landscape that was both hypnotic and euphoric. Similarly, in the 2020s, rave culture has seen a resurgence of these core values, adapted to a contemporary context. Amongst a backdrop of global uncertainty and digital connectivity, young people have once again returned to rave as a form of escapism and solidarity. Today's rave scene is fueled by a mix of nostalgia and innovation, with influences from the past seamlessly blending with cutting-edge music production techniques. Social media and digital platforms have replaced the word-of-mouth networks of the 80s, but the spirit of inclusivity and collective joy remains unchanged. The resurgence is also a reaction to the commercialisation of mainstream music, with many seeking the raw, unfiltered experiences that rave culture provides. Without a doubt, this is why BRAT fever has caught on. People are craving music that makes them feel free and isn't force-fed like much of today's mainstream music. Charli XCX's BRAT resonates because it offers an authentic, exhilarating experience that stands in stark contrast to the overproduced sounds dominating the charts. Speaking of authenticity, it is clear to see that Charli has valued authenticity over everything else, never compromising on her vision for her music. Valuing authenticity is crucial for an artist like Charli XCX because it helps to build a genuine connection with her audience. In an era where listeners are bombarded with polished, commercialised music, authenticity stands out. Charli's honest and unfiltered approach to her art allows fans to see her true personality and creative vision, fostering a deeper, more meaningful connection. Charli XCX has gained an enormous, almost cult-like following because of her authenticity, and she showcases her personality in her music. When I heard the sales comparison to Dua Lipa, I was blown away. But I believe that alongside the quality of her music, Charli XCX's deep connection with her fans has elevated her to another level. Despite being quite experimental and boundary breaking, she is achieving mainstream success comparable to the biggest artists in popular music. By staying true to her unique style and embracing the influences of rave culture, Charli creates a distinctive brand that has attracted a loyal fan base. This commitment to authenticity not only enhances her credibility as an artist, but also empowers her to innovate and push the boundaries of pop music, solidifying her influence and legacy in the industry. And speaking of legacy, you truly know you've made it in music when people start replicating your style, and that is beginning to happen to Charli XCX. I know the invention of hyperpop is a debated topic among fans, and I can't claim to have all the answers. However, from the research I've done for this video, it's clear that Charli XCX has been a massive innovator of the genre. Alongside 100 gecs, Charli has pushed the boundaries of this genre-bending, synth-heavy style, contributing significantly to its development and popularity. Noticing that Charli was ahead of the curve years ago, we're now seeing copycats trying to tap into the cultural currency of her music. Artists like Camila Cabello and Katy Perry are borrowing her sound and lo-fi style. I started noticing the comparisons in February when Cabello released the first teaser for her upcoming music. The post, filmed with a handheld video camera, was reminiscent of Charli's How I'm Feeling Now era, combining lo-fi aesthetics, a white t-shirt, camcorder footage, auto-tune vocals, and hyperpop production. Cabello managed to hit all these elements in a 10-second video, prompting immediate comparison from fans. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, especially in music, because it acknowledges the influence and impact of an artist's work. For Charli XCX, this holds true because it signifies her role as a trendsetter and innovator within the industry. When other artists like Cabello and Katy Perry adopt elements of Charli's sound and style, it underscores her creative vision and pioneering contributions to genres like hyperpop. For Charli XCX, such imitation highlights her ability to shape contemporary music trends and resonate deeply with both audiences and fellow musicians. It validates her experimental approach and her willingness to push boundaries, proving that her ideas have not only caught on, but have become a new standard for others to follow. This form of flattery not only cements Charli's legacy, but also amplifies her influence, showcasing her as a pivotal figure in modern pop music.